Wow, and good evening. Have I got a liner for you? Hang on. Of Black Spring with Autumn. I hope you guys are doing well out there. And do I have been on 3 times today for a record? But I've got to dig my heels in because I'm telling you, this economy is a runaway train. But I'm going to give you a specific story and I'm going to give you a little video to go with it. And I'm also going to put that pendulum out there. If you want to chime in, please do. But before we do it, let's check our status as we are in season. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. I hope you guys are doing well on your Sunday evening, and we are winding down. We're heading into a new work week, right? So before I start, I hope you guys are doing well. And thank you so much for all those of you that were able to join me earlier today. But right now, I have a report for you. And I'm telling you guys, you better strap yourself in. If you haven't strapped yourself in yet, I don't know what you're waiting on. But let's go for it. We are going to go for it. All right, so we've got a big line for you. I have to do better to keep up with my economics a little bit better, but let's start it. So FOMO, repo, Ford patent system for self-repossessing vehicles. Hence the title of Lego My Repo. Lego My Repo. Okay? One day, that new Ford in your driveway could up and drive itself away if you don't pay. I don't know, or something or worse could happen. So here we go. Your first point is Ford has filed a patent with the USPTO for systems and methods that aid in vehicle repossession, as first reported by The Drive. One of the systems described in the patent enables an autonomous vehicle to repossess itself. Other methods suggest limiting vehicle functions, AC, power windows, power seats, etc., and even locking delinquent owners out of their vehicles. Avoiding the repo man could get a lot harder in the future. Specifically, vehicles can one day repossess themselves. With autonomous driving tech becoming more prevalent in the coming years, all it would take is an automaker to introduce a system where that new car, truck, or SUV parked in your driveway can drive itself away if you don't pay. So far, none have. However, Ford could play spoiler based on a filing with the United States Patent and Trademark Office, USPTO, that details a self-repossessing system along with other repo-related repercussions. Ford first filed the patent with USPTO back in 2021, but it wasn't formally published until last Thursday, a discovery originally made by The Drive. Dude, where's my Ford? As we already mentioned, the most startling details described in the filing regarding autonomous and semi-autonomous vehicles that can repossess themselves. For vehicles equipped with the latter, they might simply move themselves a short distance to a location where they can be more easily towed. For vehicles with more advanced autonomous tech, they can drive themselves to the lending company or the repo lot. In situations where Ford's repo system corresponds with the lender and determines the vehicle's market value isn't worth the cost of repossession, it could drive itself straight to the junkyard. Yikes! Some of Ford's other repo-related repercussions don't go quite as far as making people watch their unmanned F-150 Lightning drive directly to the crusher at Uncle Tony's Salvage. They also act as early warnings and workarounds for folks who own vehicles without autonomous technology, or in cases where a vehicle is parked in a garage or otherwise unable to drive itself away or be accessed by a tow truck. They can be as simple, albeit infuriating, as disabling certain vehicle functions. At first, convenience features such as the air conditioning, cruise control, power seats, power windows, or the radio might be deactivated. Another method is described as playing irritating and incessant sounds through the stereo system. We immediately thought of Jim Carrey's quote, most annoying sound in the world, seen from Dumb and Dumber. After that, they could escalate to limiting functions to access or drive the vehicle. Essentially, Ford's repo system could immobilize the car, truck, or SUV and even lock the owner out. Avoiding the full repo. It's worth noting the filing extensively details steps that will be taken before an automated repossession occurs. For example, a series of messages that will be sent between the lender and the owner with past due payments, who would then have an allotted amount of time to respond accordingly. The filing also includes language acknowledging events such as being hospitalized or being out of the country. It's mentioned that people with financial hardships might be able to work out a payment plan with their lender to avoid repo-related penalties. For now, all Ford patent filing confirms is that the company is at least kicking around the idea of self-repossessing vehicles. While it sounds plausible, the more autonomous driving tech becomes better integrated and more common, we'd sooner expect to see vehicles be remotely repossessed by having features disabled or through immobilization. Then again, it's hard to predict the future. Yeah, so that's a lot there, a lot going on there. But with glitchy technology, maybe they lock you out and it's not actually you, or they lock out the wrong car, or maybe the system just malfunctions one day. So I'm just saying, what is it that a friend of mine that says you have to laugh to hold back the tears? But I'm telling you, this is serious. This is absolutely serious. Hello, 22 Ronan, old hip juice. How are you? But yes, I just knew you would just, wanted you guys to be able to see that article. But that particular piece came from, the carandriver.com. But wait, don't you worry. I've got one more piece. I've got a video that's also going to tell you about where the average car payment is, where this economy is going. Your repos are up, okay, just to say the least. Repos are up, car insurance is up, all these staggering disasters is driving everything up. So let me let you hear from a network, what they're working on. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in to this segment of Black's Breed with Autumn. Make sure you guys have full scale here so you get the full gist of this. Okay? Let me know if you have any audio problems. And 3, 2, 1, here we go.
So Ford is applying for a patent on technology that in theory allows cars to turn the car in itself, essentially repossess itself if a driver falls behind on payments. Kelsey Kernstein is here with how this new idea could become a reality. Kelsey?
Hey, Adrian. Yeah, so this is not what consumers want to hear, especially when the average monthly new car payment is nearly $800. But at the same time, auto delinquencies are on the rise. More than 2 million cars were repoed last year, according to Title Loan Serve. Automakers like Ford are now cracking down. Now, the company is now working on having self-driving cars repo themselves if payments are not made. Yes, you heard that correctly. That means that your car would physically drive itself to a repossession agency or another location to be towed if you fail to make your payments for 60 days or so. Now, Ford is still working out the details. It is deciding whether it should lock the owner out of the car on the weekends or include a beeping or chiming sound to annoy the driver. I spoke to an auto industry executive who says this could actually be a win-win for drivers who make their payments on time because it actually mitigates the company's loss.
within the Ford Motor Company, there is Ford Motor Credit, which does a lot of Ford's internal financing for its cars, and they have tens of billions of dollars worth of auto loans. And so anything that they can do to help support or make that auto loan portfolio more profitable, less risky, they will do.
And this, of course, is a hot topic because it brings up concerns like, what if somebody leaves something very important in the car, like documents or medication? Now, of course, Ford is still in the very early stages of the development of this technology, but Gardner says he thinks this will be the future of the car industry.
Thank you for watching.
All right, guys. So I just wanted you to be able to hear that. Oh, wow. Ronan, 22 Ronan says, can't do it, BSWA. Gas is too high. I got you. I'm picking up what you're putting down. So, yeah, I just had to share it with you. But, I say it all the time, with a real economy, please stand up. And, yeah, is there anybody out there in the market for a new car that's actually bought a new car? I mean, they're probably right, because insurance, what was it, back in 2020 when they had all the money and all these things were going on? I tell you, there's a great content creator. I think he goes by the name of John Williams. And John Williams mentioned this while discussing something else. But he talked about the economy and everything in context. But everything is up. Shout out to Uncool Paranoia. The cost of insurance is up. I mean, I think insurance is up at least 3 times. People have gone from paying, not so high rates to, a couple $100 or more, maybe $300. But I'm hearing some of these car payments are closer to $1,000, $800. Some of them are closer to $1,000, and it's not even including insurance. So, kind of like a student loan dilemma, you're going to be faced with: am I going to have a car? Am I going to pay the loans? Like, they're slowly stripping things down. They're paring it down. Or as they say, to me, what is this loan, the wealth transfer? Not to mention with all the illegals coming across the border, the Americans are going to be in the minority very soon. And guess what? They're going to put who they want in office. If people are still doing that system. Okay, so I'm just thinking these things are going to get very real very quickly. So if you know someone that's, you want to be careful, make sure you pay your payments on time, or make sure you're not going on a weekend excursion and you haven't paid, because your car might start doing something, your car might start squealing. And it's kind of like predictive programming. The fact that they're able to tie it back to that article, was able to tie something back to what's his name, Carrey. What's his name, Jim Carrey, to tie something back to a Dumb and Dumber. I mean, do you think you think he piloted the sound of what's going to come through your machine, through your vehicle, in the event that you don't pay, and your vehicle is not, you haven't paid your payments in 60 days or whatever, however many days. So, yeah, a little bit interesting. So I just want to share that with you guys, and I appreciate you guys for burning a while, 14 minutes and 47 seconds. But if you're just now joining us, this was this was done back in the spring, I believe. I had no idea that Ford had already, that they had filed a patent for a system. And see, what's going to happen is the other makers are going to do the same thing. If they do it, they're going to do it. So hang in there and strap in, because things are getting uglier by the second. What did she quote? Something like 2 million cars were repoed. Yeah, but let's look at it. The cost of living, the rent, car insurance, vehicles, all of it is overwhelming. It's very much overwhelming. Interest rates are overwhelming. And I don't see it getting any better. Ronan 22. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you so much for coming in, but I just had to share that. But Lego my repo. Keep that in mind. All right, let's have a quick word to Rumble, and then we're going to be out of here. Okay, let's see. All right, guys. I will see you later. Have a great start to your week. And let me know what you think in the comments. Are you ready to Lego my repo? Or are you gonna be let's see. Ronan says car payment has to be juggled. It can ruin Ford. We'll see what happens, okay? All right, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section or the replay section about repos, autonomous repos.